Hello, welcome to Bored and Confused, where I review shows based on two criteria. One, was I bored? Two, was I confused? Today's show is Katsura Sunshine Rakugo at New World Stages Off-Broadway. Before I jump into this, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me grow this channel and helps me meet press agents and producers like Joe Trentacosta, who invited me to come see this show, and he's given me press tickets for lots of fabulous shows, so I was more than happy to see this show that he is the executive producer of. This is going to be a really quick one because it's kind of a very simple show. It's this gentleman, Katsura Sunshine, he's a Canadian, and he studied the art of Japanese storytelling, and this is his passion. He brings this passion to the stage. There's an art of Japanese storytelling. You kneel down on a cushion, you have a little table, you have two props, you have a fan, you have this little stone thing, and a little napkin cloth. And you use these little props to tell these stories. Like many things in Japan, there's a master and a student, and you study under a master. You learn the technique of telling these stories. These stories are passed down generation to generation, and along the way, some of these masters write their own stories, which then can be passed down to students. So what did I know going into this? I knew nothing. All I knew is that I had seen this advertised at New World Stages over the years and always been like, oh, I wonder what that is. So when Joe asked me if I was interested in seeing this, I was like, absolutely, let me check this out. Because he's been performing at New World Stages for about 7 years, but he comes and does 1 or 2 shows a month, and he travels around the world doing this. So as a novelty of something different to do in New York, I really recommend this. I just found this so interesting. You know, as a writer, we are storytellers, and I write comedy. All of these stories really are comedic stories. They have a lot in common, I feel like, with older styles of stand-up comedy. Those kind of story jokes where you tell a long story and then there's a punchline. And the talent of the comedian is really finding the humor in the story that leads up to the punchline. I'm thinking of, you know, a joke like The Aristocrats or something like that, where it's really about the journey and then you hit the punchline and this is over. And that's what the style of this is. And so these stories that are passed down, you know, a novice, a new student might do a short version and just give you the basics of the story and hit the punchline. Whereas a master like Katsura Sunshine he's going to stretch these out. Katsura Sunshine has so much energy. He's so affable. He's a master at doing this kind of storytelling. And his energy and excitement about it is really infectious. So let me tell you a little bit how it's structured. It's not just him. He actually brings along some apprentices, some students that are studying with him, learning this art. And it started out with, we had 2 storytellers that started, then Katsura Sunshine came in and told a story, and then another one of his students came in and told a shorter story, and then he came in and did a final story. So we got 5 stories in total. Katsura's stories were much longer than the students, which is as it should be. He is the master. And he's told some traditional stories, and he told, I believe one story was a more recent story that his master had written. And I just found this fascinating. You can go back and see this show, and he tells different stories every time. It's one act. It is 90 minutes, although the night I went, which was last night, the audience was incredible. And you can see with a performer, like stand-up comics are the same way. I remember this with Billy Crystal's show is the same way. The better the audience, the longer the show got. So the show ended up being 2 hours. He was like, you want to hear another one? And the audience was like, yeah. So this audience was loving this. I think a lot of them had come to see it before and really loved this art form. A lot of Japanese people in the audience as well. Just a fun experience. That's where you get your tickets. If this sounds interesting to you, if you like the art of storytelling, something that has been passed down for generation after generation, you're going to want to check this out. I believe the next one is in December 13th, but check this guy's website. He's also on social media, on TikTok and Instagram and all that, so you can get a feel for the kind of storytelling he does, and if it's interesting to you, go check it out at New World Stages. Again, New World Stages has small theaters, not a bad seat in the house. So yeah, really enjoyed this. Thanks to Joe Trentacosta for the press ticket. Really had a good time.
Inside the play, keep me engaged. I don't wanna be born.